We all face obstacles, right? But what if I told you there's a single mindset that could turn your absolute worst setback into one of the most productive times of your life? Well, that was the secret of a true master of mind and body, Bruce Lee. And today, we're going to dive deep into the incredible philosophy that truly defined him.
I'm sure you've heard this famous line before, but it is so much more than a catchphrase. For Bruce Lee, this was a guiding principle, a real practical tool for navigating the chaos of life. This isn't just about martial arts, it's about living. So, what does it actually mean to be water?
To really get this philosophy, we've got to go back to where it all began. And it wasn't born in a training hall or on a movie set. Nope. It happened on a boat, right in the middle of the South China Sea.
So, picture this. Lee's feeling completely stuck, just totally frustrated with his training. And in this moment of anger, he just hauls off and punches the water. But nothing happens. The water isn't hurt, it just absorbs the blow. He tries again, harder. Still nothing. He tries to grab a handful of it, but it just slips right through his fingers. And that's when it hit him. Boom, the epiphany.
That one moment pretty much defined his entire worldview. Lee realized that water, which is the softest thing you can imagine, could actually overcome the hardest. See, it doesn't fight back, it just flows around things. It doesn't label a situation as good or bad, it simply adapts. And that became his core principle. Adapt, don't resist. Okay, so it's one thing to have a cool philosophy, right? But it's a whole other game to actually live it when your entire world falls apart. And for Bruce Lee, the ultimate test was right around the corner.
I want you to imagine this. You are at the absolute peak of your powers. You're a physical marvel, a global icon in the making. You're that successful warrior with almost superhuman focus. Everything you've been working for is finally coming together. And then, just like that, disaster strikes. While he was weight training, Lee suffered a severe injury to his fourth sacral nerve. The pain was just immense, and the consequences, well, they were terrifying. His entire identity, his career, his physical strength, it was all on the line. That's what the doctors told him. This wasn't just about a long recovery, this was about the potential end of everything he was. They told him he might not even walk again without pain. I mean, this is the kind of obstacle that completely breaks people.
So, what do? I think most of us, we'd fight it, right? We'd get angry, we'd fall into despair. But this is the exact moment where the be water philosophy went from being a theory to a literal life-saving practice.
This was the choice he was facing. He could resist his new reality, fight a battle he absolutely could not win and just drown in frustration. Or he could adapt, accept the situation for what it was, and find a new way forward. And that choice, right there, that's the whole lesson.
And the key to making this shift, this is so important. It wasn't about ignoring his feelings or pretending he wasn't devastated. It was about changing the question he was asking himself. He didn't waste a single drop of energy on that unanswerable question, why me? He focused on the only thing that actually mattered. This right here is the question of adaptation. It's not about admitting defeat, it's about redirection. How will I have to change? You see, it accepts the reality of the obstacle, but it immediately pivots toward action and new possibilities. It's a question that looks for a door instead of just staring at a wall.
Asking that one powerful question completely unlocked a period of incredible creativity and growth for him. Since he couldn't train his body, he just relentlessly trained his mind instead. Instead of just lying in bed, consumed by what he'd lost, he redirected all of that warrior energy. He poured all his ideas into this massive 7-volume work on combat. He started planning out his future movies. He thought really deeply about his art and how he could teach it even better. He didn't stop moving. He just changed the direction of his flow. And get this, here's the incredible, totally unexpected outcome. Because he couldn't physically show his students the moves anymore, he had to become a master of communicating with words. He had to find the exact right language to describe these really complex movements. His limitation actually forced him to build a new skill, and it made him an even more profound teacher. So Bruce Lee's story is just this powerful testament to his philosophy. But the real question is, how can we use this in our own lives when we're facing our own challenges that feel completely insurmountable?
While the whole philosophy really boils down to a simple 3-step framework. First, you have to accept reality instantly, just like water does. Don't waste a second wishing things were different. Second, ask that forward-looking question. Okay, what now? And third, you flood the problem with relentless action, no matter how small it seems. You just fill every available space with purpose.
And this, right here, this is the heart of it all. We waste so much of our energy trapped in what I like to call shouldville. Agonizing over what should have happened. Water teaches us there is no should. There is only what is. And from what is, you can flow absolutely anywhere.
So, I'll leave you with this question. The next time life hits you hard, with an unexpected bill, a tough diagnosis, a major setback, when life metaphorically punches you, are you going to be the rigid fist that breaks? Or are you going to be the water that adapts, flows, and ultimately finds a way through?